Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video, which I feel I have become one of those booktubers who literally says that in every single video, and I'm really sorry, but it's true. I'm excited for today's video because I'm going to be talking to you guys about my wish list for books. Now, this sounds really generic and not that exciting, but when you are in quarantine and can't really get out to buy your books, one thing that you can be looking forward to is the day where the Golden Gates just open and you can run into the bookstore and buy all the books that are currently in your chapters book cart or whatever bookstore you like to go to, whatever cart you have filled on your phone or on your computer right now, when you can just go in and buy all those books. I'm really excited for that. Actually, at the time of this recording, some of my chapters have opened, so I technically can go, but I'm kind of just waiting a little bit because I don't want to just run in and be all gung-ho. I'm waiting for this situation to settle a little bit before I just venture back into the universe for things that technically aren't a necessity, because I mean, as much as a book lover as we all are, they're not really a necessity right now, especially when you can be ordering online. So I am waiting a little bit for things to die down and for things to just be a little bit more safe and so on and so forth. But anyways, I'm very excited to go through my top 10 books that are on my current wish list. These are literally all books that I have in my Indigo cart on my phone right now. So just I'm waiting for that day where I can go and get them. So if you would like to hear more about the books that I am so excited to be able to buy, keep on watching. All right, so before we get started, I'm going to do the same disclaimer that I do in every single one of my videos. You guys are probably sick and tired of hearing it, but it's for the people who are new, and that is, if you hear my Great Dane whining or crying upstairs, she's absolutely fine. She's not dying or hurt or anything of the above. She's great. She's fine. She's just dramatic, but here on this channel, we deal with it. So with that being said, let's get into it. The first book on that list, and I will put a picture of the book and the author because I do not know any of the author names right now. I think I know maybe two, and that's because I'm horrible with author names and I don't have them written down anywhere, so I'll just post a picture of it somewhere here. And yeah, the first book that I'm very excited to buy and is at the very top of my wish list is Unpregnant. This is a YA contemporary, my genre. So excited. And it is about a girl who lives in a very conservative household and she finds herself pregnant. Now, as she is dealing with this current situation, she's realizing that her being pregnant and wanting to go to college and get her dream job and all these things are going to be really, really hard. So she's decided that she wants to get an abortion, but having conservative parents, she knows that that's not going to bode well with them. So I believe she doesn't tell them. And then she also has her boyfriend who is very nonchalant and just non-existent with this whole predicament. So she doesn't really have anyone to lean on, and the closest abortion clinic is about 900 miles away. So she is stuck pretty much alone in this predicament, no one to lean on and no way to get to the abortion clinic. What happens? She relies on her ex-best friend and a stolen car to get her to the clinic, so that way she's able to get her abortion, or so we think she's going to get the abortion. It's a 3-day road trip that just sounds like it's going to be absolutely hilarious. Obviously, it's dealing with a really, really hard topic, but they look like, the author looks like she's added some comedic relief to it, which is really nice. And I like when authors are able to do that for serious topics. So I'm so excited for this book. I don't know why I'm this excited for it, but I'm very, very excited for this book, and I hope that it is as good as I'm hoping it to be. The next book that I have is also really, really high on my wish list and also really high up in my expectations, and that is Dreamland Burning. It is a dual perspective novel. So it's about this present day girl who finds a skeleton in her family's backyard, which is scary in itself, and honestly I would probably die, but she finds it. So it's about her and her family dealing with that and figuring out the historical relevance of why there's a skeleton in her backyard. And while they're dealing with that, you also get the perspective way back in 1921 during the Tusla riots, and you get to see what's happening there and how that skeleton ended up in her backyard. I'm so excited for that. The Tusla riots in 1921 are one of the biggest historical riots that I think happened either in US or in the world. I'm not sure, don't quote me, but I know it's a huge racial riot that happened, and I'm really, really excited to be able to read about it in a YA novel. And I love the dual perspective. That's one of my favorite characteristics or features of books, is when you get a dual perspective. So I'm super excited for that. The next book, there was something in my eye, I don't know what that was. The next book that I have on my list is Anna K, a love story. Yeah, that is the title, Anna K, a love story. This is based on or a retelling of Anna Karenina, a book that I have not read and probably will never read because it's never really been on my radar. And that is no shade to anybody who has read it or loves it. It's just not been on my radar. So I had no intention of reading it. But this particular version of it looks really cute. It's kind of like your typical YA contemporary. This girl who's like a really straight up student and has, oh sorry, it's an American Korean family, so that's nice. You get a little bit of different representation here. It's about this girl who's a really stand-up student, is like forever making her Korean American dad very, very proud of her, and life is just going great for her. She's not having really any problems until she meets a boy, of course. And this boy is a little bit more off the beaten track opposed to like what she is, but she's obviously gonna fall for the guy, and he just kind of sends her very structured, orderly, perfect world into chaos. So I love reading books like that. I think it's super cute. Yeah, so it doesn't sound like it's gonna be anything like to write home about, but at the same time it sounds like it's going to be super cute. So I am excited for a little bit of a lighter read right now. And the next book that I have is not going to be a light read at all. I literally go from one end of the spectrum to the whole other side, and that is Fight Like a Girl. But I've had my eye on this book for so long now, and I'm actually really excited to be able to go out and pick it up. This is a book about trigger warning for domestic violence. I don't know if there's sexual abuse in it as well, but I know domestic violence is for sure in there. It's about a girl and her mom and her dad, who, that's a great start, sorry. So this girl's parents, I'm an intellectual human being. I can get this, give me a second. It's about a girl who watches her mom constantly go through domestic abuse at the hands of her father. So, and it's just been going on pretty much as long as she can remember. I believe her dad has a little bit of a drinking problem, and one night while the girl is driving, she accidentally hits her dad, and I believe he dies or is in critical condition. I think he dies. And she thinks that she's kind of free of this problem, of this tyranny that's been kind of ruling over her house since like as long as she can remember. But then she realizes that as her mom begins to date a new guy, the same patterns of domestic abuse are starting to happen all over again, and she doesn't know how to deal with it, and her mom just won't listen. So that was a horrible explanation for a really hard-hitting book, and I'm sorry, but it sounds like it's gonna be a really beautiful story of a girl who's going to find her voice somehow in some way. I'm very excited to read about that. And I believe she's also a fighter. Like I want to say she's in boxing or something along those lines. I'm like 75% sure, and if she is, that's badass and enough for me to read it like right there. So regardless, I'm really excited for that book. The next one that I have is Clap When You Land. I will link my reading vlog that I did for this book somewhere in the description box if you haven't seen it already, because I did a review of that book in there as well. I love this book so much. I'm stuck between my ranking for Elizabeth Acevedo's books, because originally for me it was With the Fire on High and then The Poet X, and now I'm like, okay, I still think I like With the Fire on High the best, and then Clap When You Land is like right here, and then The Poet X is like right here. So I don't know, it was a beautiful book, and I want a physical copy of it so badly. But I think I also said this in my reading vlog, I want to be able to go in the store and pick it up and physically hold it for myself and buy it and have that experience, because I really love that book so much. So I'm very excited to be able to get my hands on that. The next book that I have is, I have them written on sticky notes, like on my lights and stuff. So if I'm looking everywhere but the camera, it's because I'm looking for the title of the book. So yeah, the next book that I have is Cersei. I'm gonna put two books here. So Cersei and The Shadows Between Us. And that's because both these books have been recommended to me by some of my favorite booktubers. Naya Reads and Smiles loves Cersei. I also think Janine from The Story Ain't Over also likes Cersei. And then The Shadows Between Us, Janine and Haley in Bookland have both recommended those books highly. Now, the reason I'm putting these two books together is because I do not remember what they're about at all. I just know that my favorite booktubers love these books, and I trust their opinion very much, so I have them in my cart and I want to read them. The Shadows Between Us I know is a fantasy. I think they're both fantasies, but I know The Shadows Between Us is for sure a fantasy, and I don't really like to know too much about my fantasies before I go into them anyway, so I'm fine not knowing about that. And Cersei is based on Greek gods, I'm pretty sure, which is just insanely cool. So I'll read that anyways as well. But yeah, both those books I am very excited to get my hands on. The next two books, or well, the next book is To Kill a Mockingbird. I read this book in high school, as I'm sure most people did, but I don't think I actually was able to appreciate the impact that that book is supposed to have, and I wanted to be able to reread it for the longest while. I also don't have, I have a physical copy of it somewhere, that's a lie. I do have one, but it's probably at my mom's house and I can't find it. And I also just want a really, really nice hardcover physical copy of that book. So yeah, I'm looking to find that somewhere as well. And Chapters currently has a hard copy of it, but I think I have to order that one online anyways. But yeah, I would like a copy of To Kill a Mockingbird. And then the next one that I would like to get is actually by Maya Angelou, and that is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. So I'm very excited to get my hands on that as well. And I think that's all. No, oh my gosh. And my last book is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. This is a book that was recommended to me by a girl in my church whom I absolutely adore and trust her opinion in like the highest regard. She loves it. She says it's a book that has completely changed her life. And again, enough for me to read it. There's 3 books on this list that I honestly don't know anything about, which is horrible, but I'm gonna get it because I trust the people who recommend them. And yeah, those are all the books that are currently in my Indigo shopping cart and at the top of my wish list. Probably the first 10 books that I'm going to pick up as soon as I'm able to get into a chapters. If you enjoyed, first of all, thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end of me rambling and babbling on, that's great for you. Thank you. And if you did enjoy it, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down below what are some of the books that you're going to be getting as soon as you can go out into the real world and actually purchase them. I'm super excited to see what you guys think. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!